Today we are going to print a table of a number in assembly language. So before going toward the code, we have to revise few things that because ECX is going to be our looping index, right? So that's why our table will be displayed in the reverse order, okay? Because ECX only decrements automatically, it does not increments, right? So I'm going to display the table from 10 to from 1 to 10, but because of ECX it will be displayed as from 10 to 1. 5 tens are 50, 5 nines are and like this, okay? So here you can see inside my data part, I'm taking one variable that is 5, which means I'm going to display the number of 5. You can also take the input from the user. So I'm taking two strings, that is asterisk and equals to. Why? Because this is how my table, one row of my table will look like. It means that here asterisk and equals to will be printed as it is on the screen, so they have to be taken as the strings. And this 50, this will be my result, the product, right? And this 5 is going to be my this number, and this 10, this will come through loop, right? Because firstly it will be 10, then 9, 8, 7, 6 till 1, right? So for that I need the ECX register. And here I am taking another you can say variable. It will be you can say it will be used to store the result for a while. We will see this later. So above our main procedure and below the dot code segment, we have to declare our function. This is the declaration. So I am, you can say, inside my main procedure I'm calling my this function. So I'm passing the name of the function as well as the variable, right? And I'm passing that variable to this function. This value n will be received by this value variable. Okay, so going toward the definition of this function, here our definition starts. I'm assuming that you know very well how to use procedures, because I have explained them already. You can go and watch them from there. Okay, so inside my main procedure, firstly I need to move 10 in ECX. Why? Because I have to you can say decrement my looping index every time, right? Like we have seen earlier, 5 tens are 50, then 5 nines are 45, like this we have to move, right? So I'm moving 10 in ECX, that is my loop has to work 10 times, right? And then inside my this label, which means here my loop begins from here. So inside the loop we know that always we check for the stopping condition, that where we have to stop our loop. As soon as this E6 becomes 0, we have to stop the loop. Why? Because we don't want 5 zeros are 0, right? We have to print till 5 ones are 5. That's it. So this is our that condition, that is you can say as a conditional structure or conditional jump. We have also studied about them in detail. Okay, so firstly we have to move 10 in our ECX, that is we have to define our looping index, that is how many times we want our loop to work. And then I'm moving that value in EAX. That value is what? That value is 5. I want the table of 5, so I'm moving 5 in EAX, right? Now my EX is containing 5, and mul ECX, we know that how this instruction works. It multiplies whatever is in EAX with ECX, and results also get stored in EX. So my EX is containing 5, right? My ECX is containing what? It is containing 10, right? So 5 multiplied by 10 gets stored in EAX. Now you can see that previously my EX was, you can say it was here 5, but now after this step my EX has become updated, and now it is containing the result of the multiplication, that is 5 tens are 50. Now EX is containing 50, that is the result of my product. Okay, so next what I am doing, you can see here I am storing that result of EX in count, just to store it for a while, because I know that I have to print the table as it is on the screen, which means that whenever we want to print any integer, that must be in EAX, right? So firstly my result was in EX, this was in EX, but now I'm storing it for a while in some other register. so that before displaying the result I can display these things on the screen. So for that why I'm storing it for a while, because I have to use it in the most end, right? So we have to move what? We have to move this 5, that is that value, in EAX, and then I have to display as it is using call write int, right? And then I have to print that asterisk, this string. We know that how to print strings on the screen. And then I have to print 10, and 10 is in what register? It is in ECX, but in order to display we have to move it in EAX, right? And then this equal to, this string will be displayed, and after it I will again move that result that I stored for a while in some other variable. In order to display I have to move back that result in EAX, and then I will display. Okay, so I hope you are with me on this. So we will see it over here. So firstly we have moved 10, then we are moving the value that is 5 in EX. Now after multiplication, EX is containing the result, we are moving that EX in for a while in count. Count is holding our result, and now we are moving 5 in EX, and then we are displaying 5, right? Because 5 ones are 5, so we have to display 5 also. And then by these two statements I am displaying that asterisk symbol on the screen that we have displayed or declared above, right? And this will display asterisk on the screen. It will display like this. You can see 5 asterisk. This has been done yet. Okay, this has been displayed on the screen. Okay, and next what I am doing, I am moving that ECX value that is 10 in EAX, right? Now my EX is containing 10, and by this statement the 10 gets printed. So now my result becomes 5 asterisk 10, right? And after it I am moving that equal to string also, which means that we have to move the string in EDX only, right? And by call write string my equal to gets printed, which means now here my result or my values on the screen will look like this equal has also come. And next what I'm doing now, we know that we have to now display the result on the screen, and my result is where we know that previously it was in EX, then we moved it for a while in count. So in order to display on the screen we cannot use count variable or any other register, we just have to use EAX in case of integers, right? So for that I'm moving that count value again in EAX, and then by this statement the result gets printed on the screen. That is, we have achieved this result by now, okay, in the first iteration. And then by call CRLF, which means that we have to go on the next line. I'm printing it 2 times so that you can say the result looks a little beautiful. So then after this our control will go into the, you can say the screen will display that you can say the result has moved on the next line. So this is, you can say, the complete iteration, first iteration only. And now again we will go inside the loop, and we know that on the very first iteration our ECX gets decremented by 1. So now automatically my ECX is now 9, right? So I have to compare, is 9 equals to ECX, which if 9 equals to 0, no, that is we have to skip the statement. So we'll come inside this and we'll see, we will again move that value in EX. That is, same steps will be repeated every time. You know that we have to print 5 in the, we have to move 5 in EX, and then we will print 5 with 9, because EX is containing 5 and ECX is containing 9, and 5 9s are 45. Results get stored in EX, and now we have to store in some other count register for a count variable for a while, so that we display these things first. Before this 50 we will display these things, okay? So then I am moving that in count register, count variable, and then I am moving that 5 in EX, and then by call write int, you can say, but we have printed so far is this now, okay? So we have printed 5, and then we are, by these two statements we are printing asterisk, and then we are moving ECX in EAX, because ECX is 9, right? We know that after 5 10s are 50, we need 9, right? 5 9s are 45, so we have to display 9 then by these two statements we will be displaying equal to, and we know that our result is where? Our result is in EAX. So in order to display we have to move it back to EX, so it becomes 45. And by these two calls clearlf, we will go on the next line. So this is how our loop will iterate until the E6. When the E6 is 1, we will display 5 ones are 5. And then when again E6 the loop, you can say the control will go in this label, our E6 will become 0. Definitely it auto decrements, but so when E6 becomes 0, after completing all its iterations, we will compare it with E6, that is 0 equal to 0. You can see by this statement the condition works, that is jump if 0. And where to jump? Jump to this label. We have to written the code for this label later. So if E6 and 0, if they both are 0, right, then we have to jump here. In the previous iterations we were ignoring this statement because the E6 and 0 were not equal, but now they both have become 0, so we have to go to this label, and inside this label I am just simply returning, which means that just go to the main procedure. We have completed all our iterations, we have printed the whole table, now we have to go back to the you can say main procedure, right? So here we are coming to main procedure back. So that's it for the coding part. Let's try it by running, so you can see how it looks like. Okay, so you can see that our table is in reverse order. We have, you can see by calls clearlf, we have displayed 2 spaces of lines as well, and this is the complete table of 5. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you so much.